Good evening and welcome to our kindergarten information session. My name is Tammy Vacante and I am one of the superintendents here at Thames Valley. We are thrilled to welcome you to Thames Valley as we begin your child's kindergarten journey together. At Thames Valley, we believe that the early years in education are crucial to shaping a child's lifelong love of learning. Our dedicated team of educators are committed to creating inclusive, nurturing, and engaging environments for your children to learn, to grow, and to explore. Starting kindergarten can be a big transition for children, as well as parents and caregivers. Our team will be with you every step of the way to offer support and to offer guidance. Throughout the year, your child will have the opportunity to engage in a variety of hands-on and play-based learning that will foster creativity, critical thinking, and social skills. The curriculum is designed to spark curiosity, encourage independence, and lay the groundwork for future success. As partners in your child's education, we encourage open communication and collaboration. We value the unique identities that each child brings to the school community, and we look forward to getting to know all families when school begins in September. Before you meet the team, I would like to turn it over to child psychologist Dr. Jean Clinton to extend a warm welcome and to share more about play-based learning.
Hello and a huge big welcome. I'm Dr. Jean Clinton and I have to tell you, I am an infant, child and adolescent psychiatrist and a huge supporter of our high quality kindergarten program here in Ontario and at Thames Valley District School Board. At Thames Valley, I know I've spoken with the educators and they see your children arriving as a gift to them. They value your cultures, your tradition as families, and will celebrate that with the children. In kindergarten these days is maybe different than what you remember yourselves or know about. Here, we have a play-based, deeply engaging, learning, literacy-rich, numeracy-rich environment where kids are excited, so thrilled about their learning because they're developing. They're developing and exploring their world. They do that best through play. We know that's how the brain works. Now, you might be wondering, well, if they're just playing, how am I going to know that they're learning? Well, the educator team at Thames Valley District School Board are recognizing children's natural curiosity, and they're going to be documenting that. They're going to be watching and listening to the children's many questions and documenting that and sending things home to you that are really reflecting what they're learning about your child and their learning. They are going to be natural explorers in their environments. They're going to be mathematicians. They're little scientists. They've been like that since they were in the crib, and they're going to be artists. And that is going to be celebrated in the kindergarten program. What's going to be so important, and you need to know this, is that the educator teams are going to be looking at how can they help your little one develop new friendship. How can they explore their environment, including, so importantly, the outside environment? They give them materials that are going to get them interested and excited. And you're going to say, wow, I had no idea that my little one knew so much. It's so important to know that each and every one of your little precious ones are going to be building relationships with the educators, with other children, and with their environment. It is a wonderful world of kindergarten. And I'm happy to say that I, as a child psychiatrist, have been involved in the development of this kindergarten program. And I know that it's based on really sound science, but mostly it's hard work that the kindergarten team are involved in. They are going to capitalize and revel in your child's natural curiosity, desire to play, and desire to learn. So enjoy this new journey that you're on with your little ones as they get welcomed into the wonderful world that is the kindergarten program at Thames Valley District School Board. All the very, very best from me to you and your family.
Tonight, we have a lot of helpful information to share with you, and we are going to be addressing some of the questions that you submitted when you registered for this session. We understand that some of you are having difficulty hearing, and we want you to know that we're working on that and that this session is going to be recorded and on our website in the coming days.
So my name is Belinda Graham, and I am a certified Ontario teacher. I am just one member of the kindergarten classroom. I have a background in curriculum from kindergarten to grade 8, which gives me knowledge about assessment and planning and supporting learning for all children from kindergarten to grade 8. As an educator, I know that it's important and that relationships are at the heart of the kindergarten program document. I realize that it's important for me to plan with my co-educators, with the children, and the input from parents and caregivers to really create those authentic learning experiences that set the foundation for a love of lifelong learning.
My name's Cheryl Duffett, and I'm a registered early childhood educator. I'm another member of the kindergarten educator team. I have extensive knowledge of early childhood development along with observation skills and assessment skills. The philosophy of early childhood educators includes a focus on the whole child, which allows us to plan age-appropriate activities that promote each child's physical, cognitive, emotional, social, language, and creative development, and ensures the well-being of each child.
Another member of the kindergarten team is the specialty educator. This educator might do some learning outdoors with your child, maybe some physical activity or learning through the arts. They spend time planning with the classroom educators and the children. All members of the kindergarten team really work together so that children see themselves as part of the learning environment, the daily activities, and all of the planning that goes into place. We know that starting kindergarten can be a very busy time and exciting. In Thames Valley, we do have some resources for parents and caregivers. In our next video, we're going to look at some resources and tools that we have to help support our multi-language learners. These include some information about resources that you can use to communicate with your school and your classroom staff and other educators.
Welcome to kindergarten. As you can see by our multilingual board, we have many languages and cultures represented in our school system. Your child's oral language abilities is so valued, as well as your culture, your lived experiences in the classroom, and we really welcome you to share as much as you can about your home language with your classroom educator when your child starts school. We also have many community partners here to support us. And I wanted to just introduce you to Settlement Services in Schools. What is SWIS? SWIS stands for Settlement Services in School. SWIS Services is a Thames Valley District Board partnership where settlement workers in school work to support settlement services to any newcomer family into a Thames Valley District Board community. So if a family wanted to find a family doctor or an after-school extracurricular activity or library program, is that something that SWIS can help with? Yes, as settlement workers, we provide newcomer families with support, orientation, information in various aspects like unemployment, housing, healthcare, and education. Okay, so how would a family connect with SWIS, and is an interpreter available if families should need them? Well, there is a consent form that parents can access through the school office, and they can fill out the form, and then a settlement worker will contact them to set up an appointment and then assess any settlement needs and also find out if the family requires an interpreter. So please contact your school administrator or classroom teacher to get access, connected to suite services in your school. And we look forward to seeing you in September. Okay, so not only do we have many community partners to support us, we also have educators within our schools. I would like you to meet the multilingual educator in the school.
I'm the multilingual educator here at Iscarlene Public School. All parents also have access to interpreters to support you with communicating with your children's teachers if needed. Although multilingual educators do not directly support your children in their kindergarten classes, we're happy to support you with any questions you may have about learning English. Being multilingual is truly a valued asset in the Thames Valley District School Board, and we're so happy to welcome you and your child into school.
Well, each school's day might be a bit different with varying start and end times and different scheduled recess and lunch times. Each kindergarten class will follow a sort of schedule as well. This is also often represented as a visual schedule, and it's displayed in the classroom so that your child can see what's coming next in their day. We call this the flow of the day, as this schedule is somewhat more flexible and responsive to the needs of everyone in the class rather than following a strict timeline. In kindergarten, your child will spend 2 years growing and learning at their own pace and while being supported by the educators and the classroom environment. The kindergarten program focuses on 4 areas or frames of learning and development. These are belonging and contributing, problem solving and innovating, self-regulation and well-being, and demonstrating literacy and mathematics behaviors. These frames align with the way that children learn naturally as they explore the world around them through play. Now, we're going to take a closer look at each of the 4 frames and some of the learning that occurs within each one.
The belonging and contributing frame of the kindergarten program focuses on helping children discover who they are and builds their confidence in knowing that they're a valued member of an intimate circle of friends.
We support them through their kindergarten journey and know that kindergarten is the foundation of their learning. It sets their tone for success for the future. Developing relationships is a key component in the belonging and contributing frame. We know it's important for our children to develop relationships that encloses a sense of trust and belonging when they start in a new setting. The feeling of belonging contributes to one's inner well-being, security, and identity. Fostering relationships with one another helps each child have a positive sense of self that ultimately sets them up for future success. Our welcome song is something we sing every day together, a way for us to feel as a classroom family, to start our day with a sense of belonging. We set a goal for ourselves every day before we enter this classroom. This helps each student take ownership for their own learning, feel a sense of belonging, and feel valued by sharing their own values and setting goals for themselves. We know the importance of creating a classroom environment where every child feels safe, valued, and heard.
The welcome song and intentions for the day establishes a caring network. It starts our day by welcoming everyone together, the young, the old, and even the little critters. It helps establish school as a safe place, a place where we all belong. We focus in kindergarten on friendship, love, and kindness. That golden rule of treating others the way you want to be treated is the heart of kindergarten. Holding hands and planting our feet grounds the children and even the adults in a calm, peaceful, loving way. It also sets the tone for the day, and it helps ease that transition from home to school. It's a fresh start that students can rely on and trust in the fact that they are a valued member of the kindergarten family.
As you can see here on the wall, children are able to draw a picture of how they see themselves. We proudly display them and leave them up all year round, and as they are proud to show their own vision of who they are with their own unique characteristics. They see themselves as a student who is celebrated and valued. Success for early learning only happens when students can co-create their learning. So their classroom might turn into something like the outer space or the dinosaur age, or maybe something like this one, the gingerbread hot chocolate stand.
These experiences allow children to contribute to their environment through the lens of inquiry. When everyone shares ideas and wonderings and discoveries, learning dispositions thrive and expand. 2. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Hello to the moon and greetings to the sun. Welcome, old, and welcome to the young. Sing to a new day that has begun. Good morning, dear earth. Good morning, dear sun. Good morning, dear stones and flowers, everyone. Good morning, dear beasties and birds in the trees. Good morning to you and good morning to me. I dance with the stars, I sing with the sun. The warmth of my heart I give everyone. Oh, that was beautiful. You just warmed my heart today.
The frame of self-regulation encompasses the child's learning and important skills that will be throughout kindergarten, but also throughout their school years and beyond. Through daily interactions with children and other adults in the room, your child will start to develop a strong sense of self and some self-awareness. By creating a learning environment that is safe, accepting, nurturing, the staff will help your child become aware of their own emotions and how to manage them, and to be aware of the thinking and feeling of other children. Many classrooms will have quiet or calming areas where children can go when they need time and space to manage their big emotions. These areas might include a comfortable place to sit or a cozy area to curl up in. It might include comfort toys like this, or books that talk about their emotions. They might also take the time here to practice those strategies that have been taught to them by the educators to help them calm. Your child will also have opportunities to learn self-regulation through carefully and intentionally planned activities indoors and outside, such as water play, painting, sand play, or even like this Play-Doh. The development of self-regulation is something that takes time and is unique to every child. This includes using the washroom at school as well. In the classroom, the educator team will support your child and encourage them to use the school washroom and help them through any routines that they might be still learning.
In kindergarten, literacy and mathematics occurs throughout the day. Educators will use what they know about your child's unique skills to help provide learning opportunities that will help them grow. In kindergarten, children will spend time learning how to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the foundational skill of quantity, which pile has more, which pile has less. They will also play games with dice to help them quickly recognize numbers to 6, and they will spend time exploring other mathematical concepts such as data management, shapes, and measurement throughout the day. Educators will teach children about their letters and corresponding sounds. You may see cards similar to this sound wall come home to help support this learning. Using the sound wall, children will learn how to make the letter sounds and connect them to the letter as they learn to read and spell. As well, speaking and listening are a key part of the kindergarten program. Through the use of read-alouds or leader days, children will learn to develop their skills as both speaker and listener. You might also see an expanding expression tool in your child's classroom. This will help children to develop their vocabulary and share their knowledge about items and things that are within their learning environment. Children communicate for many different reasons, sometimes obtaining things or sharing what they like and they dislike. Some children might be just learning to communicate. They may look away or push things off with their hands.
In your child's classroom, you may see a communication board like this. This helps support those nonverbal ways of communicating. Children can use the various images and symbols to help share with others their wants, needs, dislikes, and interests.
Welcome to kindergarten. Here in the world of early learning, we focus on your child's natural curiosity, creativity, and critical thinking skills. One of the key learning frames in our program is problem solving and innovating. Through play-based learning, we empower children to explore ideas, solve problems, and make meaningful connections to the world around them.
During play, we ask children meaningful questions to guide their thinking and encourage deeper exploration. For example, we might ask, what will happen if we make the base of your tower wider? Or how could we work together to make sure that this tower doesn't fall? These kinds of questions help children think critically, test their ideas, and develop solutions collaboratively.
Social problem solving is a vital part of our kindergarten program. To help children resolve conflicts independently, our school staff has implemented a 4-step conflict resolution strategy and is applied across all divisions of our school. For our youngest learners, it's important to introduce this strategy in a way that is accessible and effective. We achieve this by keeping the language simple, modeling the steps regularly, and referring to visuals, such as the anchor chart, which is displayed in all classrooms. Teachers also carry similar versions on their lanyards to support children in the moment. You may see similar versions at your own child's school.
When conflicts arise, emotions can escalate quickly, and children often react impulsively, with communication sometimes limited to a loud stop. While stop is a great first step, the strategy encourages students to go further by naming the undesirable action, explaining how it makes them feel, and asking for change. For example, a child might say, "Stop grabbing the toy. That makes me feel upset. Can you please ask me first next time?" These steps require extra support at first, especially the ask for change step. But with practice, children begin to use the strategy independently.
This approach gives children the tools to recognize, name, and express their emotions constructively. It empowers them to communicate effectively and resolve conflicts in a way that fosters mutual respect and understanding.
By modeling and encouraging these strategies, we help children build confidence in their ability to solve challenges, both big and small. These skills lay a strong foundation for future learning, collaboration, and innovation.
Throughout the day, children will engage in meaningful learning outdoors that connects to each of the 4 frames. Educators will provide intentional activities that will engage children's curiosity and help build a sense of community and appreciation for the natural world. Children will be greeted each day by an educator in the morning and dismissed to either a bus, after-school care, or a caregiver at the end of the day. Classrooms have designated cubby areas for storage of personal belongings such as lunch bags and water bottles, and families are encouraged to label these items.
Caregivers are able to register their children for kindergarten on the Thames Valley District School Board's website at www.tvdsb.ca/register. The process can be started online for all children who will be turning 4 by December 31st of 2025. This means that children who are eligible for the first year of kindergarten were born in 2021. We are so excited to meet your child and welcome them to school. Now we're going to take a quick tour to see where you can find important information on the Thames Valley District School Board's kindergarten webpage. We will also share an example of a school's Welcome to Kindergarten webpage, which is another great resource for families and caregivers.
The Thames Valley District School Board's website contains many resources to support all children, students, and families enrolled in Thames Valley schools. To access information about the kindergarten program, you will want to hover over the Parents tab and click on the Kindergarten program. On this page, you will find a variety of information connected to the kindergarten program document
and Thames Valley District School Board. At the top of the page, you will find our newly updated Kindergarten Parent and Caregiver Guide. This guide and brochure provides a variety of information and links to parents and caregivers about the kindergarten program and about the Thames Valley District School Board and the community partners that we work with. Along with the parent guide, you will also find information about how to register your child for school online. And if you are interested, there is also information about how to register your child for English kindergarten in a French immersion school. If you are not sure what your home school is, you can use the School Locator tool to find out which school you should be registering your child at. Along with registration links, we also have a section dedicated to frequently asked questions. Some of these questions include, how do you register for before and after school care, and the school bus? Near the bottom of the page, we have a few videos of families who have children enrolled in Thames Valley classrooms, and some links to helpful information from our community partners, such as Southwest Public Health, and Rock the Talk that talks about the importance of oral language development. If you have a few moments, we recommend you taking some time to visit our virtual kindergarten classroom. This is a great way to get a sneak peek inside a Thames Valley classroom and see some of the learning areas and materials that your child might be able to explore at their school. In the Side tab, you will see a link to our Early Years page. On this page, you can find information about childcare operators and early on in family centers. Also available on this page is information about before and after school care and how to register for it at your child's school. Along with visiting the Thames Valley District School Board's main webpage, we recommend you visit your child's school-specific webpage. These pages can be very helpful in finding out information such as how to contact the school, where the school is located, start and end times, busing information, and more. Some schools may even have extra pages dedicated to the kindergarten program. Here we see East Carling's kindergarten page. On this page, parents can find out a little bit more information about the kindergarten educator teams and the kindergarten program at East Carling. Across the top, you can meet the kindergarten educators. You can learn about the kindergarten program, as well as they share information about School Messenger and attendance procedures at the school. So, if you have a little bit of time, we recommend exploring both the Thames Valley District School Board's main webpage and visiting the webpage connected to your child's school.
Some children may be beginning taking the bus or walking to school with a group of friends, where others might be enrolled in before and after school care. These changes in routine can make pickup and drop-off times a busy time. However, as our next video highlights, school staff work with our community partners, such as before and after school care providers, to really help support that seamless transition for children during the morning and afternoon dismissal times.
We start our mornings outside during playtime, and then close to the bell, some teachers do get children, parents drop them off in the school, and then some teachers stay outside. So one staff from program would stay with the kids that stay outside, and one would take the rest to their teachers into the school. And then at 9, the staff outside would just ensure that all the kids are still there, and then would ensure that the teacher also knows that all kids are there. And then with the new routine now, we take all the kids inside So we drop them off to their teachers. We give teachers updates about anything that a parent has said, or we give them information about a kid's like mood, how they were feeling, how did their day start, and just any general information about the kids.
So same exact thing. So when we are outside during outside time, we greet each other, and then they notify me who has been in the program. If the parents hand me the child as well, I relay that information back to them, letting them know that so and so is here. Now that the transition inside, same, but on the inside level where they relay the information and who's here or who just arrived or who's been here a while. A lot of the information, if there's notes from the parents, that's also conveyed to us, as well as how the child has been doing, how the day is starting, and if they are leaving early or they're taking a bus or may not be. All of that information is shared back and forth between both parties.
So we're really fortunate in the afternoon that it's kind of all of us playing off each other together. We're always all in the hall. Some of us might be more towards the classroom, helping school age program get organized. Some of us might be getting the walkers organized. Between the four of us, we are able to organize the kids, let each other know, oh, so-and-so is taking the bus today, even though they're usually at program. Maybe so-and-so went home sick today. They're not here, even though they were here in the morning. We're just waiting on the bench till the bell rings when we actually hand them over to school age program. While we're on the bench, we just do silly songs or silly games. And it doesn't matter who's doing it. We're all pretty comfortable with each other. So we're just making it fun, getting everybody organized for the next part of their day.
There's a lot of communication between school staff and program staff about how their day was, how the transition's been going, any information that may need to be relayed to parents.
Anything that makes it easier for that transition to their next grown-ups that are looking after them.
It's beneficial to have a shared space because the children feel like this is a place of comfort. It feels like home. It's common expectations. So when that happens, nothing changes for the children. It's the same expectations throughout our team.
And when they're done at the end of the day, they still know we're still at school, we're still in the classroom. So the expectations aren't the same as the teachers, but they're still the same expectations of the school and the program and in the classroom, because the kids won't necessarily be in their home kindergarten classroom. They'll just be in a kindergarten classroom somewhere in the school.
It's also easier for staff to share the same space because there's a washroom in kindergarten classes, and so having the kids stay in the room and just use that washroom is easier for staff to keep an eye on all the children that they have. And when a parent comes, they just meet them at that class and not have to go look for them around the school.
I feel like we share materials as well. So there's materials that are used in the classroom throughout the day that the kids are used to, that they enjoy, that are very educational, that they continue using in the after-school program, and as well as resources that we have that you don't necessarily have that we can also share and incorporate into the class space as well.
And it's really cool to watch them, the kids that aren't in our own classrooms, how they use the materials differently. We did that last week, how they were using it. And then our kids in our own classroom are watching that. And then we can kind of use that in our own rooms in the next days. Did you see how so-and-so was playing with that yesterday? Do you want to try building a habitat like they did in program? Do you want to try to play with the shelves like they were doing in program?
A lot of the material you guys have, like the other day when I noticed some of the boxes and some of the items, I'm like, oh my God, this is interesting because we have this celebration coming up. This reminds me of this celebration. And they're so welcome and they say, hey, you could use it for that if we still have it. So I love that we share not only the space, but we share the items we have, so the children find common ground between the space and the place and the things that they're using.
And I think the kids also feel comfortable coming to any of us at the end of the day, which makes the transitions outside a lot easier, because if we're in the classroom and they want something, they'll come and ask us the same as they would come and ask their after-school educators, which
is off limit, which is awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, and even the kids who aren't in program too, like they'll come up to us and ask us for help, or if there's a problem or whatever, to help problem solve. So it kind of goes both ways with all the children that are in the hallway during that transition.
Yeah.
And then, like you were saying, like we can relay those messages if anything is forgotten or extra that needs to be passed along. Then they know that we do communicate that. And so then both the program staff and the school staff have the same information.
When you registered for the session, we asked about any questions you might have about kindergarten and the upcoming school year. So we've put together a few of the common questions that we received during the registration process. We've received a lot of questions about busing. So for specific information regarding busing, you will need to contact your child's school, and then they can provide you with information about routes and contacts for My Big Yellow School Bus, which is the online hub for all school transportation in southwestern Ontario. There are also many questions about, how is my child going to get to the bus at the end of the day? What does that dismissal routine kind of look like? And each school will have their own well-established routines and procedures to ensure that each child is safely picked up and dropped off in the morning. The bus company provides colored tags for the children that can be secured to their backpacks, and this really helps staff and educators ensure that children arrive at their correct buses at the end of the day. Bus drivers and schools, again, will have those specific procedures, and they work together to really ensure the safety of all students at the beginning and the end of the day. We also do get a few questions about what does that pick up and drop off just look like generally, because we know lots of children will be walking to school or maybe riding bicycles on their way in. So again, each school really does have their own specific kindergarten and kindergarten dismissal and entry area. This information is usually shared with families at the school's Welcome to Kindergarten session that you should be invited to sometime in the spring. After the first few days of school, you and your child will both become very familiar with the school's routines, where they're supposed to meet their educators and where their lineups happen, or where you meet their educator after school. Sometimes these times of day can appear to be very hectic and very busy. However, be assured that educators have worked out these routines, they have a plan, and your child's safety is always at the forefront of how we do those transition routines between home and school.
So families might wonder, what day will my child start? And what will be kind of that first week of school looking like, the flow of it? So this school year begins on the Wednesday following Labor Day. And when you attend your school's Welcome to Kindergarten session in the spring, they'll share more information with you about those routines for the first few days of school. Another question that came in a lot was the idea of what will my child need to bring? So we see in August, maybe even in July, we see those welcome to school, back to school flyers starting up. And it can be overwhelming to think about what your child might need for school. And during that your school's Welcome to Kindergarten information session, they might provide you with a list of items, a very brief list of items that would be helpful for your child to bring to school. Some key items that children all need to bring is like a bag or a backpack that they are able to carry on their own. So you think for our kindergarten students, you don't want it to be oversized. This backpack should, though, be able to hold their lunch bag, a reusable water bottle that they can fill at school, extra clothes, and any kind of work or notes that would be coming home from school. Also important to note is that children will be spending a portion of their day outside. And so it's important to remember to dress for the weather, to send things that in the warmer times, maybe a hat or a sunscreen if your child needs that, extra water. In the winter times, you need some of those warm weather clothes like snow pants and hats and mitts and a warm coat. Also, children are encouraged to have indoor shoes, and it's important that you remember to label all of your child's belongings, because you can imagine that with 20 pairs of shoes, it could be easy to misplace them or not know whose they are. Your child's educators will provide important information about nutrition and about lunch breaks and how much food children should bring to school if you have questions about that. When packing your child's lunch, it's important to think about containers that your child could open and close on their own, and a water bottle that can be refilled. Perhaps it would be time now to even start practicing opening and closing containers. Most schools discourage children from bringing any kind of toys or electronics from home, as we have so many wonderful learning tools and materials in the classroom that children can explore throughout the day. Another question that we got a lot is about washroom routines. And so children in kindergarten have access to washrooms that are either inside their classroom or nearby. Educators plan for those washroom breaks throughout the day and encourage children to use the washroom on a regular basis, especially before going outside or going for an assembly in the gymnasium or on a field trip. Educators respect each child's development in relation to being independent in the washroom. So we recognize that starting school for the first time can be stressful for children, and they might experience situations where they might need a change of clothes on an occasion. So a second pair of clothes that you've sent supports children should their clothes become soiled or wet. To support children's transition to kindergarten and to respect their dignity, it's very important to support your child in the coming months with independence in the washroom. So helping them notice when their body needs to go to the washroom, helping them to learn how to wipe themselves clean, or pulling down and pulling up their underwear and their clothes is a helpful thing to teach them.
We also did get a few questions about vaccination. So does my child have to be vaccinated before attending school in Ontario? And the answer is yes. The Immunization of School Pupils Act in Ontario legislation, it was passed back in 1990. And the act is in place to really ensure that all students who attend schools in the province are up to date on those required vaccine doses for tetanus and diphtheria and pertussis, polio, measles, mumps, rubella, and meningococcal and varicella. Students need to have those immunization records on file with their local health unit. And so for our school board within the Thames Valley, our local health units are the Middlesex London Health Unit and Southwest Public Health that serves Oxford and Elgin counties. So families can also choose to have a philosophical or medical exemption filed instead of having those records filed. But to learn more about that process and what you might need to complete, we do recommend visiting the Middlesex London Health Unit webpage at www.healthunit.com/immunizations. Or if you live in Oxford or Elgin counties, you're going to want to look at the Southwest Public Health website, and their website is at www.swpublichealth, all one word, .ca/vaccineswork, all one word. So that'll just give you a little bit more information about the process or how you might be able to file those records if you have them on hand. We also sometimes get some questions about, if I have a specific question about my child's particular needs or their individual situation, maybe your child has some medical needs or they take some medication and we just need to contact the school about that. So we really say if you have individual questions about your child, the best thing is to contact your school and have a conversation with the educators and the school team that work there. During the enrollment process, there is a section where you can provide information about any medical needs or allergies, etc. But again, it can be really helpful to contact your child's school directly just to make sure that they have all that important information about the child to help ease that transition, especially on those first few days of school. The school will also help provide you with any forms or paperwork that you might need to complete to, again, help ease that transition and make sure, that children are going to school in that safe, caring environment.
There's sometimes people ask about how can I communicate with my child's school? And there's so many ways that families can get in contact with that school if they have questions, or if the child's going to be away one day or for an extended time, or if they're looking for those community resources. So when you enroll your child in TVDSB, you're going to gain access to something called School Messenger. So this is an electronic system that all schools use to communicate with families and caregivers. You can also just call the school during the day, where school staff can support you and help you find that needed information. Thames Valley District School Board also has easy access to translator services to help reduce those communication barriers. School staff can help families access phone and in-person translators to provide support for things like school events or meetings. Okay. Oh, and then one note that we like to add all the time is people ask, does it matter if my child comes all the time? Can they have to come every day, or can they just come 1 or 2 days a week? And we know that although kindergarten is not mandatory that you have to come all the time, we know from research and that daily school attendance sets that foundation for a child's success from kindergarten onwards. So we encourage children to come to school every day that they can, that they're well, to help build routines and to support that ongoing learning. The kindergarten day has been developed to meet the needs of young learners and allows for that balance of structure, play, inquiry, and even rest. So your child will be supported throughout the entire day. Okay, so that concludes our question and answer period. So we're so glad. We want to thank you for coming tonight to tonight's session. At Thames Valley District School Board, we know that students learn best in a safe and caring learning environment. Based on research, we've created the Essential Conditions for Learning framework that promotes relationships, safety, connections, and regulation to support student learning. When students feel safe and connected to their educators, to their learning, to their peers, and to the larger school community, they're better able to regulate, better able to interact with each other in healthy ways, and best of all, able to learn. So before we say goodnight, we're going to watch a 2-minute introductory video about the essential conditions for learning. But thanks for joining us.
Did you know that Thames Valley has a framework called the Essential Conditions for Learning? You might have seen this picture around your school, and you might be wondering what it means. In order to do my best learning, I need to feel safe at school and connected to the caring adults in the school.
It's also important that I feel regulated when I'm at school. This means that there is predictability and structure at school and in the classroom so that my friends and I feel emotionally safe in our learning environment.
All of these essential conditions for learning are built through healthy relationships with adults and other students. When we take time to get to know one another and find out what makes us unique, it reminds us that we all play an important part in our school community.
So what does it mean to feel safe at school? When I think of safety from things like getting hurt, bullying, discrimination, and racism.
When I think of safety to being my authentic self and feeling safe to make mistakes, which we all know is how we learn.
What about connection? We all know that humans, and especially kids, are social beings. Everyone wants to feel like they belong. When we feel connected to our teachers, our classmates, and our school community, we're more excited to learn.
One way I feel connected at school is when the book we're reading shows pictures of people who look like me and my family.
I feel connected to my teacher when they greet me at the door with a big welcoming smile.
When we feel safe and connected at school, it's a lot easier for us to manage our emotions and stress, or get regulated.
Everyone experiences a wide range of emotions throughout the school day. I'm learning to notice these feelings in my body so that I can choose which regulation strategy works best for me.
I'm learning more about how my brain works so that I can explain to others what I need when I'm feeling overwhelmed or upset. Things don't always go smoothly though, and we all make mistakes.
When this happens, we can use essential conditions for learning as a reminder that we need to rebuild safety and connection so that we can feel regulated.
When a caring adult helps me with this, I can then talk through the problem and learn from my mistakes, which makes me feel ready to learn again. After all, that's what school's all about.